It's April 1st, 2023, and today I want to do another video in my total knee replacement series. And what I'm going to be talking about today is stairs. Yeah, stairs are something that will be an issue when you come home from your surgery. And so today I'm going to talk a little bit about uh, getting to the point where you can go up and down stairs more or less normally. And I'm going to start by just talking about how they tell you to do stairs at the beginning, right after your surgery, and then some of the things that are going to be a consideration before you can go up and down stairs normally. So let's get going. Now, these are the stairs from the ground floor up to the second floor in my house, and I thought I'd use these to illustrate some of the issues you're going to find going up and down stairs. And I have my helper here, Blackie Blackfur, to assist me in this video. So these are pretty typical stairs. These are 8-inch risers, so they're pretty normal. One thing you'll notice is these steps do have a little bit of an overhang. They're a pretty normal depth. So when you are in the hospital or the clinic after your surgery, they're going to make you go up and down some stairs. And the normal procedure is to step up with the good leg and then bring the bad leg up onto the step, and so on for every step as you go up. The only thing about this is you do need to be able to support the bulk of your weight on the surgical leg. And a good railing is useful for that, so that when you pick up the good leg, you can put some of the weight on the railing. Now, unfortunately here, the railings don't extend down far enough to do that. So the first step, if you have weight-bearing issues on the surgical leg, will be a problem. In my case, right leg is the surgical leg. And but it's not that difficult if you have a good railing, and you can and your non-surgical leg is strong enough to lift you up. So step up, and you can push and pull on the railings and put the surgical leg up and continue up the stairs that way. And then when you're ready to come down, you step down with the surgical leg and then bring the other leg down, down with the surgical leg and bring the other leg down. Now, if you take your time, you can go up quite a few stairs that way. But obviously, the goal is to be able to go up the stairs normally, step over step, where you step up with both legs, as Blackie is doing here. Come on, Blackie. I'm trying to shoot a video. You're going to have to move. Now, one of the issues you're going to run into when you first get home is your leg isn't going to bend very much. Now, let's take a look. I'm going to step up onto the first step with the surgical leg. Notice how much I have to bend the leg to get over the edge of the step. That's at least 90 degrees. Now, if I step back a little, I can probably get away with less bend. But once you're on the steps, you don't have the option of stepping back, and you'll see that the leg bend required to get over that edge of the step is going to be maybe a little more than 90 degrees, as Blackie is demonstrating. Again, do you want to move, Blackie? Yeah, one of the difficulties of having an assistant. So perhaps the biggest limitation I found to going upstairs normally initially was when I first got home, I could not step up onto the step unless I was way back And that left me with quite a long step to get the other leg on. And then you run into strength issues with the surgical leg. So basically you're not going to be able to go upstairs normally until you can stand relatively close to the step and step up onto that first step. And then you're going to have to be able to get a hold of your railings and assist yourself getting up with the good leg. And so that is a big factor. Now, getting to the point where you can go up the stairs step over step is much easier than getting to the point where you can go down the stairs step over step. And largely because of strength issues and bending in the surgical leg. Now, I was able to go up the stairs the first time just normally, stepping up with both legs after about 10 days. But I really worked at it. And one thing that I found useful was to do my knee bending exercises before I tried to do the steps. That improved the flexibility of my knee. If I just got up off the chair and went to the steps, that was a challenge, a real challenge. But if I spent a little time working on bending my knee before I went to the stairs, it made it much easier. You can do that just by sitting on a chair and bending your knee back. So anyway, but eventually you're going to get to the point where you can step up. Now, one thing you're going to find is that because of the way railings are set up, and it's much more difficult to put a lot of load on the railing going up than it is going down. But anyway, so what you have to do is get to the point where you can bend your knee enough to step up and get your toe over the edge of the step. The narrower your steps are, the more difficult that will be. The wider they are and the shallower they are, the easier that will be. So, once you can do this, you can then get a hold of the railings, and to some extent you can pull yourself up while you step up. And then you can continue. And get a little practice. Now, coming down is quite different. Coming down, you want, normally, when you leave the hospital or clinic, they're going to tell you to step down with the surgical leg, bear weight on it, and bring the other leg down. That way you can keep the surgical leg straight. If you can't fully straighten your surgical leg, let's say you can only get to here, that means you're going to have to support your weight on a partially bent leg. And you're going to have good railings or hand grips to do that. So I wouldn't really seriously consider trying to come down the stairs step over step until you can straighten your leg fully. Okay, what about coming down? Well, coming down is a little more difficult because now I want you to watch my surgical leg when I step down. Unfortunately, it's away from you here. Actually, let's pretend that my surgical leg is the left leg. As I come down, stepping down with the good leg, watch how much I have to bend the surgical leg to get down. And I'm bearing my full weight on the surgical leg at this point. Usually you'll put your toe down first, and then you can lower yourself down with your heel. But you notice the bend in this would be the surgical leg. It's quite substantial. Your heel comes up, and that's putting a lot of load on the leg. So if your flexibility and strength aren't there, it's going to be extremely difficult to step down. And it took me about 10 days longer to be able to come down normally than it did to go up. And I still after 33 days, find that I really do want to have a railing when I'm going down step over step. So the big things are flexibility. Going down requires actually more flexibility than going up. And so if you can't bend past 90 degrees, you're probably not going to be able to come down with any control. And you're going to have to put a lot of weight on your railings. And that's why it's a good idea, if you can, before you go for surgery, if you have stairs in your house, to put a railing on both sides of the stairs so you have something good to hang on to. Partly because, let's say when we're going up, we step up like this, we want to be able to put some weight on the railing on one side. And when we come down, we're going to want to put weight on the other side. So to support our surgical leg. So you really would like to have railings on both sides of the stairs, just to make it a little easier. If your stairs are taller, for example, as I said, these are 8-inch risers. My spiral staircase going up to the third floor in my house has 9-inch risers. So they are more difficult to get your foot up onto the step. And also, because it's a spiral staircase, the steps are very narrow at the inside and much wider at the outside. Unfortunately, going up for a right knee surgery, you're stepping on the narrow part of the step, and the steps also overlap the step below much more. So you have to have even more knee flexion on that kind of step to go up, like step over step. So now if you had a bilateral replacement, you're going to have a much more difficult time with stairs because neither knee is going to want to bend enough to step up. So you're going to have to really support yourself and get that knee up somehow. You may have to have somebody help you. You may have to use crutches or good sturdy canes to support your weight. Because you'll probably find that you can't step up with either foot for the first week to 10 days after surgery. So if you want to go upstairs normally and come downstairs normally, you want to work on two things. Knee flexure, how much you can bend your knee, and you want to work on strength, particularly for coming down. Again, we'll pretend that this is my surgical leg and I'm stepping down with the non-surgical leg, and I'm bearing my whole weight on that surgical leg, and strength really matters. And I'm also getting to a pretty deep bend before that other foot touches ground. So it's going to be harder coming down normally than going up. And you should expect that you'll be able to go up normally, initially putting a lot of weight on the railings. Then as your legs get stronger and your flexure gets better, you'll be able to walk up the stairs more or less normally. So that's what I wanted to say about stairs today. Getting to the point where you can climb stairs normally and descend them normally is a big milestone. Makes a big difference. For example, in my case, the pantry is downstairs from the kitchen. And if I want to make something for lunch, I have to come down here to get it. And if I need both hands on the railing going up, it's much harder to carry something up. Or similarly, carry something down. So developing the ability to have at least one hand free as you go up or downstairs is going to really help you in terms of day-to-day living. And it's also a nice milestone. The first time you can climb the stairs step over step as opposed to one step at a time is a really, really good feeling. Okay, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, maybe you can give me a thumbs up.